I'm stunned to be here on the 4th anniversary and not in Cleveland. That's lovely. This is a little piece I wrote called, wait a minute. Called Everything I've Ever Dreamed of. I wanted always to be an actor, and now I see I should have been more specific. I used to ogle homes from the streets in magazines in my mind. Never once did I think about the property taxes and the relentless dust, stains on the carpet and the housekeepers I can't afford. When I was a kid, I tried to make the family cat sleep in my arms. He never would. As an adult, I rescued a beautiful, blue-eyed flame-tip tabby. Flame tips appear white with an orange glow like toast on the ears and at the tip of the tail. We lived together 15 years, and to the day he died, he never slept closer to my arms than my knees, and tensed when I tried to hold him. A dog, I thought. So loyal, so fun, so enthusiastic. Cluster seizures, emergency rooms, violent misbehavior, and mounting expenses were never part of the plan. Once, I dreamed of a man with bright white skin and dark, dark hair. We were strangers at a train station, probably in Paris, each oblivious to the other until we happened to glance up at the same time and were overcome with devotion. One day, desperate, I convinced myself I'd met him. I lost 7 years of my life, my mental health, and a really interesting collection of mid-century modern furniture. There came a time in my life when I could no longer make things matter, and I wanted to die. Truthfully, wanting to die became sort of a hobby of mine. I was angry but lacked initiative. Getting infected wasn't simply negligence, it was passive aggression at its most operatic, made even more so by drug-fueled hijinks and bone-cracking good sex. What I never bargained for were my vast, hidden reserves of self-preservation. The specter of bad health became every bully I had ever endured. So, I kicked their asses into the ground, and here I am now. Middle-aged and healthy, gay, but disgruntled. I have, or have had, everything I've ever dreamed of, and none of it looks like my dreams. I could wallow in regret. I have wallowed in regret recently, but I seem to be coming out the other side of regret. I have dialed down the future and taken an interest in the most mundane aspects of life. I am perfecting soup. I am going to get the grout white again. I may take up knitting. I make the most of the jobs I don't like, and I make even more of the ones I do. I reach out to the people who interest me and cut off those who annoy. I can't suffer fools. There isn't enough time left for that. I still notice the boys who pass by. And whenever I see one of those bright-skinned beauties I used to like so much, I stare. I soak it in. And that is enough. I am no longer interested in fire. I hold one perfect memory. A rainy night in San Francisco, decades ago. A stranger brushed against me. I felt him from behind, smelled his boozy breath at my neck, sensed his swelling. His arm snaked around me. His hand pressed my stomach. "Let's get out of here," he said. When I turned to look at him, I lost my breath. Those lips, those eyes, the curls of early silver in his moppy hair. I said, yes! I followed him in my car to Fillmore Street and then up 2 flights of stairs in the full light of his rooms. I gaped at him, and he said, "Come here." When we finished, I slipped through his arms and out of the bed, and as I was dressing, I fended invitations of, "Stay, and I'll make breakfast." Then I knelt down beside him. I cupped his face in my hands. I took one long look, and I kissed him on the lips. I said, "Thank you," and I left. I left because I knew him. I left because for years, from the very first moment I'd laid eyes on him, I wanted him. I left because he was one of those men, those effortless gods gifted with happiness who seemed to float through life in this city, always on the periphery of my world, always out of reach. I left because it was perfect, like a dream, and now nothing can change that.
Yeah!